how long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
You just make sure people know what happened.
Peace, peace, and blessing, everyone. This is another live with the newsroom. News never in the working service. We talk about range of topics from politics to culture to local to world events. Today we about to bring you details of our neighbor Canada, because we base here in the United States of America, and our neighbor Canada had some dramatic news on Monday. In that, I know today is Wednesday, but we gonna bring detail after all these news report, all this media speculations of why, what the story unfolds. We have Justin Trudeau. He resigning as the Prime Minister of Canada. And I'm your host, Henry, and we have Shin Akama JML. We're going to break down in detail.
You already know, man. We out here. We got to come on in and express these facts and figures on people, giving them the 411 scoop, because they ain't gonna look it up themselves. So if we don't get on it, somebody else ain't gonna tell them.
Yes, and we also gonna bring you something that occurred also Monday, and that is the passing of the let me say it right, Laken Riley Act. We're going to go into details after we talk about Justin Trudeau resignation. So let's get into the story.
His caucus in revolt, his popularity plummeting.
You failed Canada! You've ruined our country!
Even Justin Trudeau's resignation speech seemed to want nothing to do with him.
Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election, and it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
Oh man, even his resignation speech didn't like him.
Bro, it's one of them things, that's a synchronicity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's something that happens that's ironic, but it's related to the subject matter at hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to happen in a way where it was pre-planned, but it just happened. Because they knew, because you know what it is? Even the Most High knows niggas is foolish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to get cussing too hard out here. But you know what I'm talking about. They full of some ref.
Yes, but we're going to rewind the clock and go in the past a few weeks back, or say months, when Trudeau flew all the way from Canada to Mar-a-Lago, Florida, to meet with President-elect Donald Trump.
Hey, and don't forget, President Donald Trump also is a synchronicity in the event, because Trudeau is a liberal and Donald Trump is considered to be a conservative Republican, which we know that's two opposing type of ideologies.
Yes, because
Kamala Harris is the one who lost the election, and she would be more aligned with Justin Trudeau and his political apparatus.
yes, Justin Trudeau was more like a charismatic fella like Barack Obama. He was more leaning with the agendas with Barack Obama. And when we see Justin Trudeau, his image came from his father, who also was a prime minister of Canada. So when people was looking at Justin Trudeau, they was looking at him like a new John F. Kennedy of Canada. He was like world renowned. When people in America think of Canadian prime minister, most America don't remember none of them.
Right.
But we can remember prime ministers of other countries like Russia, all through history. But we only could right now remember Justin Trudeau. He was like a superstar. That
Yeah, you said
vision
it right
for
in the
Canada.
beginning. You said it right. You said it right. He
Yeah,
came out of that Obama prototype 2013 in the elections.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He became the prime minister at the end of the Obama administration. And he reminded a lot of people of Obama in them aspects of he could fire up the base and get people to participate, but participation in the end was the double-edged sword because a lot of them people who voted for him and right now I was looking at him like he sold them out because what
uh,
happened
uh,
up in
uh,
Mexico and Trump coming out with that talking about Canada might as well just become a state after the tariffs go through. And now Trudeau, and then not only Trudeau resigning, but 2 weeks ago, his finance minister resigned too. So the finance, if they talking about tariffs and the finance minister resigned,
yeah,
so you understand?
yeah,
Everybody's we ain't gonna get Canada as the 51 state until it's 2027 and Canada's a state. You know what
yes.
I'm
And
saying?
okay, and for the people who want to go technical and stuff like that, the reason why Canada would be 51 then breaking Canada all up is because majority of the people of Canada is on our border. Is on the border of Canada and United States because above that above that line, Canada is nothing but ice. But soon
Barren
as
out
we
here.
speak, a lot of that ice is melting, and that comes for security reasons and also um, economic reason to for Canada to prosper and also come up with a good understanding with America moving forward. Me myself, I'm somebody who kind of like, hey, Canada, become part of the United States. But some people against that, so I'm not here to fight that or push any of my beliefs or
He's
anybody.
pushing an agenda, but see, the thing we gotta realize though is it does like people don't want to address it in America because we're already in a financial hole already right now. But I don't understand how they can't break it down like how we was breaking it down earlier, the North Atlantic Treaty. So the North America Treaty was basically the same thing, where Mexico and Canada was basically considered part of the United States economy to the point where they wasn't paying no taxes and tariffs to bring their goods into the country, just like we wasn't paying no taxes and tariff to bring our goods into their country. But at the same time, it's really not looking good for Canada, because if we want to be honest, Canada don't manufacture nothing. Let's be real. Let's not take it like too lightly that Canada is not a worldwide manufacturer really of anything. I don't know any goods that I buy that's from Canada, except for maybe a premium type of water or something like that every once in a while that I buy. That's it.
The main important thing that Canada support America with, as you, I want people to understand, United States is the biggest exporter and importer of natural gas, oil, and natural gas. What I mean by that is we ship out LNG, liquid natural gas. We ship it out. We number one in the world.
Right.
But also we got stock market, so we can't just ship oil out and consume oil without taking other oil from other places in the world.
And don't forget, not only that, because remember, natural gas is not oil.
Yeah.
Natural gas is like propane and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not the oil. And I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying this because you might as well just say United States of America is the number one producer of energy, just energy, period. Because we supply the world with gas, electricity, natural gas, coal, nuclear power plants. We go to countries that's in the desert or countries that are very strapped for natural resource, build them nuclear power, hydrogen power plants. We do all type of high tech energy work in the world. That's how we make a lot of money in America.
Yeah.
We bring power to the powerless.
Yes. Even don't believe us. Look at history. Iran first nuclear reactor was built by United States. Ain't how life happened. But getting to Justin Trudeau, with Canada, they provide us with oil, with the pipeline ship Canada oil into Houston, Texas, and that is a big plus for America if it become a state, it become of a natural interest. And
that
also,
means that now they don't have to get now they don't have to get permission. All they got to do to reopen the pipeline is do eminent domain.
Yes. And also, with the problem is Trudeau was building enemies, foreign and domestic. Foreign enemy, he was created. I'm gonna give you an example with one of his enemy. It was India. Why India? Because Trudeau was back in Khalistani. They are part of a Sikh movement, and a lot of them are, a few places, especially India, label them as terrorists. They plot in Canada. They do disruption things, and also when you research about the Sikh, not all Sikh are violent and follow the Khalistani way. If I said it wrong, their terminology, sorry. But research it, Trudeau and the Sikh movement up in Canada, and also the Canada economy as a whole, and also Donald Trump telling Canada with immigration. Like years ago, it was known that people from Mexico or other countries could fly into Canada, go into Canada and cross over the border with drugs and people. And that is where Donald Trump was having problems with Canada. In America, if Donald Trump having that problem, we can actually say America was having that problem with Canada. But now,
and too, that they also got into some issues with China and Japan over pollution, throwing trash into the Pacific Ocean and then floating over there to China and Japan in large amounts, and they got mad talking about they was gonna hit China. That China was talking about they was getting ready to get so deep they was gonna hit Canada up over the trash.
We gotta wait. Even before that, we gotta remember what really hurt Canada. They dealt with a dragon also, and that is China. Yep. We gotta remember what happened with Huawei when the daughter of the CEO went to Canada and United States, like hold her.
Yeah, because she stole
to America.
Yeah, don't forget. Remember, she stole all the blueprints off T-Mobile. She tried to get. She got some inside information and got the blueprints on how T-Mobile was making their networks, and they was getting ready to bring that over to China, but she got jammed up at the customs.
Yeah, so
they caught her with the honor in custom, and not only did she have T-Mobile, but they said she had every major brand in Canada. She had their paperwork as well.
Facts. So let's go into part 2 of this. Let's go a little deeper.
Alex Marland is a political scientist at Acadia University.
He's in the public eye right from the time he's a child. And so over the years, Justin Trudeau becomes somebody who people feel that they know because the media really liked him.
And in his government's early years, Justin Trudeau's media image transformed into something Canada really hadn't seen since his father, a prime minister with a worldwide profile. But some key promises, such as electoral reform, went unfulfilled.
He ran into a political problem of over-promising and under-delivering. He would use these examples and he would use people as almost props. And then people would start realizing this isn't actually, like, nothing substantial is coming out of this.
He led Canada through COVID and controversy. There were also scandals, including photos of Trudeau in blackface when he was a teacher more than 2 decades ago. Trudeau's Liberal Party had been neck and neck in the polls with the opposition Conservatives until the middle of 2023. Then the bottom fell out. Liberal support has collapsed to some of the lowest levels ever.
I got 2 things to say. One is, just like United States became red so quick, we was tired of the liberals. And 2, I wanted to say earlier, you said sold people out. I kind of like say sold people a gimmick. You feel like, hey, I'm gonna do this, but when people like, yeah, we got you, yeah, we like that. But when people turn the corner, it's like haven't even started the building up the structure. You haven't even started on anything. And let me add one more thing.
Yeah, you got hold on. You heard what they said, though. You heard what the story just said. Let's go on our own journey, right?
Yeah.
Forget that it's Canada. Let's just do a general population, right? Like, worldwide, liberalism, the bottom fell out in 2023, 2024. Because all over the world, liberals lost. It's not just in America, not just in Canada. All over the world, liberalism is taking hits left and right now. A good example that I had known about for last month, a couple weeks ago, is South Africa, for example. South Africa just let Chris Brown come through there and do a tour in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't let Beyonce, because Beyonce supported Kamala Harris. So they didn't let her, based on her political view, they wasn't going to allow her into the country.
Yeah.
Do no performance, because they're not trying to have that, I don't want to get too deep into the liberalism, but the alphabet people and those type of ideologies, they didn't want expressed in their country to their use.
Yeah.
Which is part of liberalism. I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm saying facts. That's liberalism. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these more, I don't want to say backwards, because that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like people who are not as far along in the timeline of the exposure of these cultural proclaiming that they whatever genre, category, or whatever you want to call it, in the liberalism. These different, because I don't want to just be calling out one group of people, because it's not just those people, because there's a lot of different groups that make up them liberals. I don't want to say Democrats, because a lot of people in other countries don't go by democratic society. They got their own names for stuff, just like in England, they got the parliament and all that. It's not the same. But but liberalism still crosses over the international boundary.
Yeah.
So if Chris Brown is not political.
Yeah.
None of his music's political. None he says in his everyday life, when he's in press conference or award show or any of that, he's not promoting any type of politics in his music.
Yeah.
In his marketing, none of that. But Beyonce is a well-known supporter of Kamala Harris. We already did a show about that. Got paid $15 million. We already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cashed out. So we know other countries don't want to see this liberalism. It started in 2023. Because what happened in 2023, Henry, that made liberals lose their position?
Dropping on us.
It was, man, come on, bro. The world economy fell. The world economy fell. The fight in Ukraine over nothing. Niggas over here in Ukraine fighting over some grassland. Y'all over there fighting over some grassland. It ain't even nothing over there where they're fighting in Ukraine. Then you got Israel doing some BS in the Middle East, trying to pull everybody else in. Because of liberal Joe Biden, liberal Justin Trudeau. Trudeau is supporting Israel too. Let's not forget that part. He's supporting the Ukraine too. They might not have a big checkbook, but they was opening up their checkbook.
Wait. This is the same. No, let's go into that Ukraine situation, and let's go back to what the video showed. Now, this is the same prime minister who had an honorable guest, as he's supposed to be a Ukrainian veteran, but turned out to be that he fought on the side of the Nazis in World War II. Because people got to understand that Ukraine, a large sway of Ukraine, have German heritage. And they sided with the Nazis to fight against the Russians.
We got to expose the whole thing. That some of them Ukrainian units is neo-Nazis. Let's be honest. We've seen seen the guys with the tattoos on them. We've seen the videos of them not letting black people out of the Ukraine. You know what I mean? That's pure Nazism. Talking about people who ain't even from Ukraine. If they don't fight in the war, they can't leave. You know what I'm saying? That's that liberalism. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
Yeah, so they apologize, but the damage was already done. The Speaker of Parliament, I believe he resigned after that. He himself resigned, but Trudeau, he finally resigning, but he say he gonna stay into office till the Liberal Party pick their new leader. But people gotta understand, Canada, the damage is done. It's a lot of
I
things.
don't understand how come people is saying that, oh, we don't want to get Canada as a state. It's not about wanting anymore. It's about world strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Canada, it's like you got to think about it like it's a monopoly board, the world. If Canada flips up for sale and the United States does not jump on that, Russia or China is going to buy that. Russia or China is going to buy that.
Yeah.
And we cannot afford, and I don't care what none of these civilians say, any civilian. Because civilians got no idea about warfare, strategy, or anything of that nature. They can't even play a John Madden football game, right? So I don't want to hear nothing about no war strategies. But if Russia gets on the border or China of the United States, especially China, if China takes over Canada on the border of the United States and they start influxing large amounts of troops into Canada legally, we are in trouble because they will march over the border with a 1 million-man army and take over the United States of America. I don't care how many guns we got. They will come with a 1 million-man.
Yeah, that's why people stay tuned for more shows, because the next show going to be about Panama Canal and also Greenland. We ain't going to talk too much about it on this show, but we're going to give details about why it is very interesting that Donald Trump speaks on Greenland and also the ratification of wanting the Panama Canal back. But before we jump to anything else, let's go to the next story, and it's about the law that was passed Monday, the Laken-Riley.
Laken-Riley Act has passed the U.S. House. The legislation would require law enforcement to detain people in the country illegally who commit theft-related crimes. The bill is in response to the murder of 22-year-old Laken-Riley, and right now 26-year-old Jose Ibarra is serving life in prison without parole for killing Riley last February while she was out for a run on the University of Georgia campus. ICE says Ibarra entered the country illegally in 2022. Records show Athens police cited him for shoplifting in October of 2023, but let him go. In a statement from the Riley family, they say Laken would have been 23 on January 10th. There's no greater gift that could be given to her and our country than to continue her legacy by saving lives through this bill.
What's your thoughts on this bill?
Personally, let's go back to the two forward. Number one, it's good. It's a good law. If them illegal immigrants want to start acting up, then they got to start getting punished like they acting up.
Yeah.
You can't be, because I'm a firm believer in the Torah. So I believe, like God Almighty say, you got to have crime and punishment. Crime is punishment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just make sure that the punishments fit the crime. Home dude murdered her, raped her, all that. Yeah, old boy needs to be in jail until he's in the earth. I'm not going to say nothing against that. But on the other side of the question, part number two, how many of our melanated sisters or our melanated children have been kidnapped, sex trafficked, murdered, and all type of stuff by these foreigners? And I'm not even trying to be discriminatory. I'm trying to just say it like it is, which we all know because it's been on all type of missing children, missing women posters are all over the internet. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is always saying that the culprit looked like a Hispanic male, et cetera, et cetera. Because we already know from previous accounts, these illegal immigrants, especially the ones that have criminality in their background from their countries of origin, that they're really here on a mission because they know that the law is more lenient to them because they're illegal. They'll get sent home before they really got to do any real time. Now, in the exacerbation of the subject is because that girl is not melanated. Let's be honest. So that's what made it a little bit more of a criticality in the minds of those who had the power seats and make the laws and do the various on foot.
So I look at it like this, twofold also, but different. I feel like three. I think I could think about three things that come to my mind on this topic. One is that this is a federal law that supersedes sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. That
the federal laws,
huh?
the federal or the state laws.
It outweighs state and city.
So you're saying the federal laws, if they make it a federal law, it's better than if they try to leave it in the state hand. Or
No, it's already a federal law because the Republicans and some Democrats, a lot of Democrats went against it, but that's why a lot of them Democrats need to go. They need to get out of office.
We was just talking about with Trudeau.
Yes, that liberal mindset gotta go. But when this is a law that's federal now, you feel that supersedes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before it wasn't federal.
Yes. This is now a federal law, but the second part of that is I believe that the law should have went further. They talking about theft. I'm talking about when someone illegal get in a wreck, boom, and skip the consequences of that. Don't have no license, don't have no insurance, and it hurt the American citizen who might get into that. And what's the consequence?
Yeah, see, in Rhode Island, they already had a law against that, but it wasn't against the illegals. It was already in general. If you get in an accident and you ain't got no car insurance, then you're getting knocked right off.
Yeah, but in some area, like in sanctuary states or whatever, they get you
Rhode Island is one of them.
Jail. Like they get you in jail, but a lot of the time they hit you with a citation, return to court because they don't want to hold you for a long time in the jail because they know that by you sitting and you illegal, most likely ICE will see you into the system and most likely ship you out the country. So a lot of sanctuary city made it to the point that you get citation that, especially for this crime.
See, Rhode Island is Providence is a sanctuary state. You know what I mean? Rhode Island and Providence.
Yeah.
And I know people when I was working in the south side of Providence that they was driving without license and all that, illegal immigrants getting pulled over by the cops, telling me about how they was getting pulled over by the cops, and then they don't got no license, no nothing, and the cops got to let them go because they're illegal immigrants, so they can't even do nothing really legally to mess with them people, because it's that mandate with that sanctuary city thing makes it so, even if, because like even for example, they had another one. They had caught these illegal immigrants out here in Pawtucket with some arms and some kilograms of some some fentanyl and all that. They was trying to charge them boys, but they couldn't even really do nothing. Them boys walk right up out of there because they illegal immigrants. And you know what's the first thing they gonna do, Henry, in the court? If you're the lawyer defending the illegal immigrant, what's the first thing you gonna do before you even put in a plea or anything? How are you already gonna get the case dismissed?
That was that. He's not a citizen.
Challenging the jurisdiction.
Yeah.
He's an illegal immigrant. You ain't got no jurisdiction over him. If you want him to have to go to court, you got to send him home.
Yeah, send him
home. A free plane ticket back to Venezuela, Bolivia.
Yes, we got.
Remember that. Don't guarantee.
Wait, say that again. I think you broke up.
Yeah, I said that when you got to think about it like this too. They could get sent home on the plane today, land in their country, and not even get prosecuted by their government for it. Walk away free.
And they make their way the same way and find themselves back here in America. So that's the problem.
Hey, I know. I've seen illegal immigrants do it. I've seen one of my boys when I was living in New York. He was out here. He was at the club one night, drunk, fighting, and he was an illegal immigrant. The NYPD picked him up, sent him home, and mind you, this was Saturday night. They sent him home back to his country. My boy was back at work on Monday for his shift on time from his country. And he was here illegally. They sent him home 2 days before. But he still came to work on time. Talking about, I just came back, I just paid who I had to pay, and I got across the border again. Came back to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
so what happens if it's somebody like
because Mexico takes a lot of them.
I'm saying, like, what happens if it's somebody who murdered somebody? Forget fighting in the club. You murdered somebody. You raped and murdered some young girl at college. And you get sent back to your country and they don't do nothing to you. And you're back here in 2 days because you know the right people to pay. What really is the point of any type of law enforcement on these people at that point?
One, I want to say this for myself, and this is for Newsroom. We are not against immigration. People who come here legally want to work, want to build a prosperous life, who have family here and want to see the American dream. But it's another thing.
Let's say it right. Let's get it right. We ain't here. We're not against legal immigration, people with green cards and getting citizenships. We're not against that. We're not against work visas. We're not even against people who's here on vacation and visas and stuff like that. We against these people who come in here illegally, expecting some handouts, do crime with what our American generosity. Let's be real too. These people come over here, we give them food, we give them shelters, we give them clothes, we give them jobs. And then this is what you're gonna do with it. You're gonna murder some innocent girl who is trying to go to college to better her life, you know what I'm saying, in order for her to progress her stuff, and you just take that away off of the dime of the American people. That ain't right. Especially considering her family and herself, because she was in her 20s. They pay taxes up in this mug, so they was paying for you to be here.
Yeah.
That's even worse. You killing people who's paying for you to be here.
In this case right here was one of the rally cry of electing Donald Trump back, because Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, their policy of not dealing with a lot of domestic issues, especially the border, especially with
Yeah, the
Canada
open border
and
policy.
Mexico, it caused a lot of consequences to the American people in spending a lot of money on foreign wars, especially dealing with Ukraine, where billions of dollars was funneled out of America taxpayer hands into a war that we did not ask for. It was not cause for America to send so much aid. And these are aid package and grants that a lot of this money never had to been paid back. End of the story. And a lot of it was paying politicians to stay working. A lot of the public service workers in Ukraine, we keeping a whole nother country afloat while our country is on teeter of ruin, and also with open border policy where it was chaotic. It was chaotic. A lot of things need to change. And also dealing with the border, Biden was wanted to auction off the steel for less than steel prices were. It's a lot of things we got to pay attention to dealing with this act and much more, because I don't believe this is just the ending of this, because they started with theft.
You got to think about it like this too, Henry, because you're onto something right now. See, everybody thinks this act is the end of the cycle, right? It's really not, because what you said earlier, the limitation of the act is only to theft and robbery. We ain't talking about murder, capital murder. We ain't talking about that yet. We ain't talking about SA, sexual assaults and all that for entertainment purpose only, because they're going to try to act like we acting up.
Domestic issues.
And also other things that people don't really ever think about, but tax fraud, business fraud. How Aki on the corner really owns that store, and he's paying his taxes? How he ain't just paying rent and then not paying the government a dime? So we don't even know that type of stuff. So we gotta really, because like we said before here at Newsroom, we ain't against legal immigration. You know what I mean? We agree with immigration in all of its forms except for illegal immigration. Because who wants people coming up in their house in the middle of the night without permission and just walking through your door, going in your refrigerator, getting some food, getting in your shower, putting your clothes on, and living in your house, and you ain't even give them permission? Who wants that? To make it relatable to people who be like, oh, I don't really care about the border because that has nothing to do with me. When really, as American citizens, yes, it does. It has everything to do with us, because we're the ones being displaced out. They're giving these people vouchers for rent and all type of stuff. And then you got people who's disabled, people who got children, who they got to get evicted up out there, John, and all this and that and this and that, American citizen, and that, you know what I mean, and that just ain't right. You gotta make a balance somewhere, and it's even worse because the criminality that some of these people come and be involved with is real heinous. Some heinous activity going on.
Yes, yes. So this is mainly our show tonight. We cutting it short, but I want to tell you about future shows. One, we're going to be talking about AI and the robot in the workplace. We believe in never in the working service. So the future dealing with our children and our grandchildren, I believe coding and also learning how to deal with AI technology is vital. So we will be doing a show on that. Also dealing with virtual reality and so much more. And also with the show we was talking about dealing with Greenland and the Panama Canal. Be ready for these two shows. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification so you will not miss no show. And also, we do have a live chat. If you coming from Facebook, if you coming from YouTube, hit in the chat, hit in the live chat, and we will show your information, your hellos, your highs, your goodbye, your support, your questions, your dislike, and much, much more. We want to interact with the people who is watching the show so we can get your input and we can become more of a community. You want to drop
that's why we're out here. We gotta educate the people, man, because a lot of these things in the, I don't want to say the black community because then that's not being inclusive. So I'm gonna say from the urban culture. So we're being very inclusive with that. The urban culture doesn't really get too deep into these subjects, but we're going to give them the 411 overview so they can understand and have a comprehension, because you can only make good decisions when you have the good knowledge and information to be able to make a good decision.
Oh, I got good news. Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, he's gonna make Facebook more friendly towards freedom of speech. We're gonna see how this work out because this is a worldwide thing. Everybody in the world know about Facebook jail. That's sad, but it's true. Everybody know about Facebook jail, and me myself, I've been in Facebook jail where I disappeared out of Facebook for a few days, even for posts that they supposed to have deleted years ago, but it's a anniversary of the post. They want to hit me with Facebook jail or penalty, and I'm like,
Again, for a second
you
time.
supposed to deleted this already.
Not only that, you know what else is funny about that? Them boys be with Facebook jail. It's because Facebook is right now, from what I was learning in the social media management, Facebook is the slowest form of social media.
Yeah.
It's the slowest developing form because and if you ask me, Facebook was number one for a long time before the Facebook jail came.
Yeah.
Once the Facebook jail came, that's when they all went to hell. Nobody wants to be on Facebook because you're gonna be up in Facebook jail.
And I think the only thing keeping Facebook alive is the VR, because it's a lot of money to buy one of them things. Oh, no, Not me, not me. Somebody would have to give me that as a gift or something, and I'd be like blessed in this world. But me buying that for myself or anybody, that money I rather buy 4 tires before I buy one of them things, and I don't even have a bill.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, listen.
But
Don't know
technology
why.
is going.
You know what? You know why I never invested in virtual reality. To be honest, is because I'm not gonna pay X amount of dollars, $1,000, $1,500 for illusion. You know what I'm saying? I play some PlayStation, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna pay for a illusion. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really any substance to it. It's a form of entertainment. So you gotta ask yourself: is you buying a VR? Or you buying PS5? Or are you doing? There's other things you can do with the money that you can open an LLC. You know what I mean? I feel like virtual reality is one of them things. Until the technology gets cheaper, it really ain't gonna do too much. But when the technology does get cheaper, it's gonna be integrated systems, though. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna a lot of things that we do, even our everyday work, might come down to using VR.
Yeah, that's why I kind of support a little bit, but that's why we gonna do the show. Some charter schools, especially if they dealing with the science, you feel, because we need the future generation to understand dealing with technology. But this is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Our favorite person, want to give you a shout out, Latoya Johnson. Thank you for the love. We love you back. Thank you for the
Thanks for
support. You was here the whole show. We also got a few other people watching, but they haven't said nothing in the live chat. But we appreciate you. We got people coming from YouTube. We got people coming from Facebook. Appreciate y'all for watching, and we hope y'all have a wonderful night in the rest of y'all week. Peace and blessings.